next guest is an Emmy Award-winning writer and comedian you know as the voice of Tina Belcher on Bob's Burgers. In addition to his work on Veep, The Awesomes, and Nathan For You, his animated comedy special, Well-Rounded Entertainer, is streaming now on YouTube. Let's take a look.
Sometimes I'll call 911 just to tell them everything's going great. So I feel like all they ever hear is bad news. I want to die surrounded by family. But when I'm not surrounded by family, I feel fine.
Please welcome back to the show our friend Dan Mintz, everybody. Welcome back, Dan. How are you?
I'm good. This is exciting.
It's very exciting to have you here. What made you have this very unique and cool idea to animate your stand-up special?
You know, I don't know if you can tell, but I have a very specific kind of thing I do with stand-up, and I wanted to try other stuff that I can't really do live action, like impressions and and insult comedy, musical comedy.
Yeah.
And it was really kind of like a superpower.
Well, it's interesting because you do a few impressions in the special, but you just have them animated to make you look exactly like what your impression.
Yeah, it's way easier than having to learn how.
Nobody had ever thought you could just skip the middleman. Yeah. We have a very good friend in common, John Mulaney.
Yes.
John produced this special. It's fantastic. You're very close with him. He officiated your wedding.
Yeah.
And yet there's something you're maybe a little upset about that you wanted to talk about?
I wouldn't say upset.
Okay.
You know, I've been friends with John for a long time.
Yep.
And I'm just wondering, maybe you could shed some light on this. Do you know why I wasn't invited to the intervention?
Right.
Because you kind of set that up, right?
I was one of the people. I wasn't. We didn't put a ton of thought into it. We were moving pretty quickly. I guess maybe like, do you feel like you have good intervention energy?
Oh yeah, I always wanted to intervene and stuff. Yeah.
I just worry that you're like maybe I don't know. Do you want to practice and see how it would go?
Oh sure.
Okay, so just role play.
I think I got it.
Okay,
yeah.
so I'll be John.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, John.
Hey.
Could you stop using drugs?
I don't want to.
Okay.
See that? I think
I get it now. Yeah.
We've collaborated a couple times,
Yes.
which I've enjoyed a great deal. You were a guest writer on SNL.
Yes.
You came in for a couple of weeks.
Yes.
Did you enjoy that experience?
It was fun. It was very intense.
Yep.
I remember, you were the head writer then, and we went into the writer's room, and I tried to pick the seat the furthest away from you as possible, so I could kind of fly under the radar, and then I miscalculated, and you sat right next to me.
Yeah. I really thought you were a go-getter. I'm like, look at the new guy sitting right next to the head writer.
And I think I was right to be scared based on how you were treating your writers tonight.
You know what? I wasn't always like that. I wasn't always like, I grew into that monster. We also, you were a writer on The Awesomes. This is a show I created with my producer, Mike Shoemaker. You were a fantastic writer. And we also, we used you as a voice actor because we were big fans of your voice from the beginning.
Yeah, and I remember I played Vasquez, which you probably couldn't do now because
Nope.
I'm not Hispanic. And then I remember there's one episode where I was playing two different characters in different scenes, and I was trying so hard to make them sound different. And when we got back the animation, it sounded exactly the same. So we had to reanimate it so it was the same guy.
Yeah. We realized it would be easier to have artists just draw the same guy twice than ask you to do a second voice.
Yeah.
But you have you do one of the best pieces of voice acting on television. You're the voice of Tina Belcher. And it's such inventive and great casting. And do people recognize you as Tina when they hear you talk?
Not as much as you'd think. I do. It is basically my voice, but it really only happens when someone hears the voice but doesn't see me.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Which means it happens at the worst possible time to get recognized when I'm calling customer service to complain about something.
Oh, so it's then where they're like, oh my God, this guy is definitely Tina Belcher's voice.
Yeah, and I mean, like I was trying to open up my copy of Final Draft. It's a screenwriting software, and it told me to type in the code, and it wasn't working, and I called, and they said, oh, that's a pirated version. I said, no, it's not pirated. I bought it. I have the receipt and everything, and I proved that it was my version. And he's like, well, I can't really help you, but what I can do is give you a discount on buying the latest version, which I did not think was a great solution.
Right.
But then he immediately said, oh, by the way, I'm a huge Bob's Burgers fan. So I had to be like, oh, well, thank you so much for letting me buy something I already own. That's very helpful of you.
Are people surprised when they find out that the voice of Tina Belcher belongs to a stand-up comedian?
I think maybe a little bit. I mean, I was very surprised when they told me I'd be playing a girl, but still doing my voice, because I never thought I had a girl's voice. But yeah, they showed me a test of it, and it worked.
So you were doubtful, but once you saw it, you're like, oh, you guys know me better than I do.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, it's fantastic casting. It's an incredible show. And 16th? Is it the 16th season?
It might be. I have no idea. It's been so many seasons.
Yeah. Well, it's amazing. The special is so great. Highly recommend. Dan Mintz, everyone. Well-rounded entertainer streaming now on YouTube. We'll be right back.